Many of us live inside a hidden psychological framework, a set of rules we never explicitly chose. This hidden framework is often a collection of fear-based habits that silently guide every single decision we make. For Alex, these habits included a compulsion to always agree, a drive to avoid conflict at any cost, and a constant need to ensure the comfort of everyone else in the room. These habits functioned as a quiet promise to manage how others saw them. By never saying no, Alex hoped to control their reputation and ensure they were never labeled as difficult or unhelpful. While this strategy aimed to keep things peaceful, it actually built an invisible wall. It isolated Alex from their own true needs and prevented any genuine connection with the people around them. The consequences of this wall became obvious at work. A coworker, Kai, began asking Alex for help with urgent, last-minute tasks. These requests often fell outside Alex's job duties, but they began to consume Alex's personal evenings and weekends. Constant compliance trains others to exploit your lack of limits. Because Alex always said yes, Kai's requests became more frequent, more urgent, and significantly bolder. Alex felt a quiet, simmering anger while staying late to finish Kai's slides. Yet they continued to rationalize the behavior, telling themselves they were just being a good team player. This pattern continued until a late-night request from Kai forced Alex to miss a family dinner they had planned for months. This single event was the final weight on a long-growing pile of resentment. Following this internal rule of absolute compliance invited the steady erosion of Alex's personal agency and time. The habit that Alex thought protected them had become a trap. Missing that dinner brought a crushing realization of self-betrayal. Alex felt a deep tiredness, acknowledging that the pain of upsetting themselves had finally become worse than the fear of upsetting Kai. This realization led Alex to consider an external boundary. This is a clear, respectful statement of what a person will no longer compromise on to maintain their own well-being. These limits protect the non-negotiables of the soul, core aspects of existence: time, standards, and health. The first pillar is personal time, keeping evenings safe. The others represent sticking to your work standards and safeguarding mental health. Defining an external boundary creates a flexible shield of personal integrity. It allows an individual to take charge of their own life and ask for what they genuinely need. Establishing this new shield requires Alex to commit what feels like a crime against themselves, violating their own long-standing internal rule of always being helpful. Alex's internal voice shouted warnings that they would seem difficult, that Kai would be angry, and that their professional relationships would be ruined. These fears were designed to keep Alex hiding behind compliance. There is a significant difference between this false internal line, created by anxiety, and the actual social line of reality. While Alex feared a massive backlash, the real-world standard for being difficult is much further out than their fears suggested. Alex went to Kai the next day and stated the limit directly, without any apologies. "From now on, I can only help with tasks that are part of my job, and only during normal work hours." Stating this limit felt like breaking a fundamental personal law. This internal transgression creates a deep sense of discomfort, making the act of standing up for oneself feel entirely wrong at first. The most difficult part of setting boundaries is overcoming this ingrained internal resistance. The real conflict is not with the person you are speaking to, but with the rules you've lived by for years. Kai was initially surprised and even a little annoyed. He mentioned close deadlines and his need for help, confirming that some pushback is a natural part of shifting a dynamic. Alex's old habits immediately urged them to back down, suggest a compromise, or offer a long list of reasons to justify the boundary. Instead, Alex stayed firm and calm. They repeated the limit politely, acknowledging the deadlines while staying focused on their own non-negotiable need to protect their time. With each repeated refusal, the initial terror diminished. Holding the limit consistently caused Alex's self-respect to grow, as they realized they could survive the unease of others. The widespread social backlash Alex feared was an illusion manufactured by anxiety. Their professional life didn't crumble. It simply began to reset around a new standard of respect. Over time, the workplace dynamic changed. Kai began finding other ways to solve his problems, or asked for help much earlier. The boundary forced a more sustainable way of working for everyone. Alex reclaimed their personal time and their mental energy. The quiet anger they had carried for months was replaced by a calm trust in their own ability to handle social pressure. Professional and personal relationships become stronger when they are built on authentic limits. By being willing to appear difficult, Alex finally allowed themselves to be seen as they truly were. Stepping through the fear of breaking your own internal rules is the ultimate act of reclamation. It is the shift from living for the expectations of others to living in the freedom of your own truth.